Welcome back. You're still watching DayBreak on this 19th day of May 2025. I am with Chairperson of the Defense Foreign Relations Committee, that is Nelson Koech. I also have Senator Godfrey Sotsi. He chairs which committee?
County Public Investments.
County Public
Special
Investments.
Funds.
Okay, and Special Funds at the Senate. And Senator Cleophas Malala is the Deputy Party Leader of the DCP, Democracy for Citizens Party, right?
Yes.
And during break, they were going at it, accusing him of a few things over the last few months and years. But let's focus on what the top leadership of the country have been saying about former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, and I think Honorable Koech was insinuating at it. Watch this.
Anybody preaching violence and prophesying violence and threatening war and violence is as dangerous as the bandits of the North Rift and as the terrorists of the Lamu Enclave in northern Kenya. Those who have made our people suffer and shed blood. So we will not allow.
Unajua kuna watu wanatutisha, wanafikiria they are now above the law. Wanafikiria hawatashikwa. Wanafikiria hawatafungwa. I am going to tell you, under our watch, this country is not going to condone anybody who wants to ban this nation. We will not allow you to have a free space to operate on matters of violence. Muko kwa rada ya serikali usiku na mchana. You better just know that.
Ako kwa rada ya serikali usiku na mchana, he says. Now, Senator Malala, why is Rigathi Gachagua wanted?
We've just seen in both social media, print media, and broadcast media that my party leader, Rigathi Gachagua, is wanted. Last night, you saw a number of police officers surrounding his two residences, the famous Wamunyoro residence and his current residence. And we have heard that there are speculations that he wants to be arrested because of the statements he made during the Obina show that Kenya, if elections will be rigged, then 2007 will be like Christmas Day. I want to say that my party leader, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, as a Kenyan, he operates in the limits of the Constitution. Article 33 is very clear, the freedom and the rights to expression, and he has a right to receive, to seek, and even to impart information. There is nothing wrong, and I want to emphasize here, for my party leader to remind Kenyans what happened in 2007. History is history. That is why, in our current syllabus, we still teach about the war between the Jews and the Holocaust in World War II. That is why every year the Rwanda government commemorates the genocide. There is nothing wrong for anybody in Kenya to remind people what happened in Kiambaa. And therefore, let us not hide from our past. Our history cannot be amended. We must continue reminding Kenyans what happens if an election is rigged. The 2007-2008 post-election violence did not just happen from the blues. The 2007-2008 post-election violence happened or was caused out of rigging of elections. What my party leader is saying is that we have had members of the ruling party confessing in broad daylight that they are going to steal elections. You saw Honorable Oscar Sudi. You saw Honorable Charargei. Up to now, they have not been arrested. And you know, that amounts to subversion of the will of the people.
Are those sentiments that you take seriously? They are not in IEBC, are they?
No, Rigathi Gachagua is not in IEBC. Is he?
No. I'm saying the sentiments by Oscar Sudi and Cherargei, do you take them seriously?
You know, those are agents of the president. They emanate from the community of the president. They are at the center of the executing team of the president. When Cherargei speaks, that is William Ruto speaking. When Oscar Sudi speaks...
I mean, how do you assign that? He's the senator of Nandi.
No, but
you know,
we exist within a perimeter wall of reality in politics, whereby you know what I'm saying, Sam, huh? That Sudi has been posed as the horn speaker of the president. Cherargei is there. When he says something, you've heard Honorable Koech saying, I am authoritatively saying that Rigathi Gachagua is going to be arrested.
Senator Malala.
And therefore, what we are saying is that history is history. Rigathi Gachagua said, and I want to repeat here, that if elections will be rigged, because we are seeing signals and we've started seeing people chest thumping that they're going to rig the elections. And we're saying we must ensure that elections are not rigged. We want transparency. We want integrity in the entire process. And there is nothing wrong for a Kenyan to remind. In fact, we want Kenya to set aside a day for us to be remembering the Kiamba.
Let me ask you this question. Do you find the former deputy president's sentiments responsible? He says the mood in the country is that if IEBC tries to mess with the election, there will be no country here. 2007 will look like a Christmas party, I can tell you. And I want to implore those commissioners to be Kenyans, to be patriotic, and not to attempt to force William Ruto on the people of Kenya. It will not work. The people of Kenya will not accept it. People want change, and they are ready for change. Indeed, they are impatient that 2 years is too far away. Do you find those sentiments responsible?
You know, our clarion call as a party is to listen to the ground. We have listened to the ground. Everywhere.
What you say is within your control.
No, but you see, what he says is if IEBC will rig elections, so it's the responsibility of the government to ensure that elections are not rigged.
But they don't.
And you see, there's nothing wrong with prophesizing.
I mean, government doesn't.
You know what Rigathi Gachagua was doing? He was prophesizing. He was dreaming. It's like a foreshadow. Is it wrong to imagine? It has become a treasonable offense for you to start imagining.
But dreams are personal if indeed they are dreams.
But no, but Senator
Sotsi, what do you make of these sentiments?
Well, I think I'm looking at it from two perspectives. Yeah. One is that we have freedoms in the Constitution under Article 33, freedom of expression, which the former Deputy President and the party leader of the new party, DCP, is entitled to. But then there are limitations to that in the same Constitution, that even as you exercise your freedom of expression, you have to do it very objectively. You have to do it with some limitations. Yeah. I wasn't particularly impressed by the statement that 2027 will, if elections are rigged, then 2007 will be like a Christmas. It will be like a Christmas party. Yeah. I think that was very reckless. And as much as my friend here, Malala, is trying to defend that position, I think it's a bit responsible. As leaders, we need to express ourselves, knowing that we have a country to protect. Because if this country is gone, all of us will go. Therefore, yes, he has a freedom of expression, but that expression must be exercised with some caution. That expression must be limited in a way. But also looking at it politically, I think if I was in UDA, the best approach I will do is to ignore what Deputy President says, the former Deputy President says, because he talks so much. And I think they had done so well at some point when they ignored him. But now, you see, when he speaks and they seem to react to it, it makes him, it creates a mountain out of an anthill.
Yeah.
And I think it's not very strategic for them to do that. You better allow him. You better allow him.
Of government authority. Who are,
no.
You
had your time. I'm just.
Senator Malala, please allow him to finish.
Okay. I'm talking about UDA, your former party.
Not the government.
I'm talking about the UDA.
Okay.
That if I were a member of the UDA, a leader there, then the strategy I would adapt is to completely ignore the former deputy president, let him continue talking until Jesus comes. But it is not strategic for them to appear like they want to engage him, they want to arrest him, they want to do what. That would create a mountain out of an anthill. It's not strategic at all. For Rigathi Gachagua, I think this is the messaging after the launch of his party would have been better. I think now he would be focusing on telling people about his party, what is the agenda of this party, what is this party going to do to deal with the problems that he has been talking about. But now you launch a party, you don't tell us much about the party. The next thing is you are moving around only one region of the country, talking about an individual. That limits your party and is also not very strategic. I was struggling to really understand what DCP is after. Yeah. But I couldn't get anything. Okay. Instead,
we'll get to the DCP because the party leader is here.
So I think Malala.
Speak for ODM, boss.
No, I have to speak about it. I have to speak about it also. We will talk much about that when we come to that point.
Let me first hear from Honorable Koech here, because you're saying that it's actually late that Rigathi Gachagua has not been arrested. So why haven't you?
First, let me say that when he talks about rigging of election, it's not Rigathi Gachagua is not a threat to anyone. No, number one, unless he overturns his impeachment, it stands now. He cannot run for any office. In fact, it is Malala and Rigathi Gachagua have a problem. Section 13 of the Political Parties Act. Any person who's been disqualified from holding public office should not have any office in a political party. So as it is a party that has no, this is a party of a group of people who decided to unite, people who failed in public service, you know, people who've been exited from public service. Linturi, and I feel very sad for Linturi, that the only position they could give him is that of an organizing secretary. Yet Linturi is more senior even than Malala in terms of political life. He's been there for very long.
So, sorry, you said section?
Sorry?
You said what section of the Political Parties Act?
Section 13 of the Political Parties Act, 2012.
Okay, carry on.
So I want you to look at that. So, I mean, Rigathi Gachagua is not a threat. He's not running for any office. He's impeached, and until he overturns that, he's not a competitor. My reference was, I didn't get the analogy. I mean, Christmas is supposed to be a feasting season, supposed to be a prayer season for the Christian community. Now, Rigathi Gachagua is comparing 2007, you know, to someone going to the butchers to get meat. And he's saying that is how 2027 will look like. Number one, we have no interest in rigging an election because it's our manifesto. This is not the first time that UDA is running for office. It's been there before. We've never rigged any election. That statement is not a statement that Rigathi Gachagua was issuing in vain. It is a statement that is loaded. It is a statement of plans that he has. Rigathi Gachagua, as we are talking right now, including a few of members of parliament, are about to be charged for what happened last year on 25th of June. The invasion of parliament and the chaos after. The architect includes Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. And when he issues another statement, it is not taken lightly because this is someone who has the capability of causing chaos, not by any power that he has, but through his tongue. he has a very, very poisonous tongue. And if he is not charged, then he believes that he's above the law. We all must submit to the law, like I said initially, Sam. Yeah. 2007 is something that, like, and Malala is saying, we must have to remind ourselves, yes, like the Holocaust. It is perfectly okay, but do not use the scenario of 2007 to blackmail and threaten Kenyans. Okay?
We want to rig elections.
Rig elections against. Let me tell you, Sam.
Sorry, what's the threat here?
No, he's blackmailing. When he says the threat is real. When he says 2027 is going to be even worse than 2007, that is a huge threat.
But there's a condition.
Yeah, how will you... No, do you know what these people are doing? They want to bastardize the IEBC commissioners, the nominees. They just do not want, they are uncomfortable with the nominees, they are uncomfortable with the names. The process of constituting IEBC is not complete. It is in the final phase. It is coming to Parliament before JLA committee. And that is why they are uncomfortable with it. They won't say it, but they are uncomfortable with it. It has nothing to do...
Actually, there's something the former deputy president said yesterday, which I want us to listen to when he's speaking about the leadership of the new team at IEBC. Watch.
Why people are concerned that this election may not be free and fair is that you, the chairman of the IEBC, is a friend and a colleague of Josephat Nanok, who is your deputy chief of staff.
Is that even fair? That Ethekon is an ally of Josephat Nanok? I mean, you're also an ally of someone, aren't you?
I think that was a fair statement, huh? And it's good for Kenyans to know the history of the person who has been nominated as the IEBC chair. There is nothing wrong with history. I don't know why this government is paranoid of the past. It is true that the chairperson, the nominee of the chairperson position, was the Attorney General of Nanok, who is the Deputy Chief of Staff. It is also good for Kenyans to know that Alutalala, you know Alutalala, was part of, was an aide to Mudavadi. It is good for people to know. We are not saying that we are contesting those names. In fact, we were shocked that that name was proposed as the nominee. We thought Farouk Kibet was going to be named as the chairperson. But we are okay with any name, any person. We don't care. What we are requesting and what we are demanding is we want integrity in the process. When we hear the likes of Cherargei and Oscar Sudi saying that they are going to rig elections, then we have reason to start raising those concerns now. And I have heard Honorable Osotsi speaking. Honorable Osotsi, history is history. You belong to a party that has been in all governments, getting in government through violent means. In 2007, the people who fought to get into government by getting Nusumkati was your party, ODM. Raila Odinga fought. People lost their lives. Blood was shed for him to get into the handshake government. Recently, he took advantage of the Gen Z situation to get into government. You know the people who are responsible for the 2007-2008 post-election violence. They have now regrouped and now accusing somebody who has got no track of violence that he is going to cause violence. So my concern is... My concern is... it is true, it is in history.
You should not allow Malala to get scot-free with this statement. I think it's unfair for him to say that ODM comes to power through violence. 2007, there was a process, post-election justice process at ICC. There was the ODM as a party.
But you know there's never been justice to the victims.
Yeah. But ODM as a party was not subjected to that process. Number two, our leader was not subjected to that process. So when he comes here and says that ODM came to power through violence in 2007, I think he's Very unfortunate. And he was a member of ODM then.
And that's why I left.
He was a member of ODM then. It's very unfortunate. And if there is any evidence that ODM came to power after 2008, 2007 election through violence, he is a responsible member of the society. He can present that evidence before the courts. So it is unfair for Malala to come here.
But it's also right that after the violence, ODM got into ground.
Yeah, but you see, what I'm asking is that what is that specific charge on the ODM party? Can he provide that? He can't provide. People went to ICC. ODM was never taken to ICC. And the whole process of 2007 post-election violence, you knew very well that it was all over the country. So all over the country. People were killed. ODM members were killed in Naivasha. Did ODM authorize that? I think it's a very unfortunate statement.
Senator Malala,
coming from him.
And Senator Osotsi as well as Honorable Koech, the fact is there has never been real justice to the victims of 2007-2008 post-election violence. And it would be unfair for the political class to sit and make fun of such kind of events without responsibly taking the duty that you carry as leaders. So what do we do to ensure that whatever happens, because Justice and Legal Affairs Committee of the House will be looking at these nominees. If they approve them, they'll be named to be commissioners. What do you ensure, what do we do as leaders to ensure that there is a trust in supporting the institutions of the country to ensure there's a credible election?
Osotsi, I want, just before I respond to that, Osotsi, I want to remind you. Recently, we saw ODM and UDA signing a memorandum of understanding to work together. One of the issues you assured Kenyans that you're going to look into compensating families which lost their loved ones during the Gen Z protests. Up to now, you have not addressed that issue. Up to now, ODM is enjoying the sumptuous meal served on the high table of government and has totally forgotten about the Gen Zs. But I want to applaud the party for one thing. They have very high etiquette while eating. They serious because now
Sam, you know,
table manners, because you know Sam, you know why.
Let me inform the,
and you see, facts are facts. Just a moment.
The new deputy party leader of DCP.
Facts are facts.
Let me inform him. You know when Malala comes here and says these kind of things, I want to remind him one thing. ODM is a very practical party. You see, we are a party that deals with agenda that affects every Kenyan. For example, the agenda on cost of living, the agenda on high taxation.
No, you talk about Gen Z.
And now, listen, I'm coming there. Your party,
which party?
Which cannot even equate to ODM, the new party, is a party that just talks in rallies, in press conferences. ODM is a very practical party. We have engaged the UDA, which is the party in power, to get into an arrangement to address 10 issues. One of it includes...
Talk about Gen Z.
No, I'm coming there.
The rest
one of it you have not read. You know, as a Secretary General, you need to be reading these things. I want to refer you to the 10-point agenda signed between the two parties. One of the issues there was on matter of compensation of the victims of Gen Zs and Azimio rallies. Number two, the issue of empowerment. Has it been addressed?
No,
the issue of empowerment of youth. Who also includes Gen Zs. The issue of cost of living.
Has it been addressed?
No, wait. You asked me a question. Now I'm responding to you.
We know the point.
The issue of cost of living.
Yeah.
Now, for the party to get to a point where we get the party in power to agree to addressing those 10 issues, I think that's very commendable. What has the other people done? They claim to be opposition, but all they talk about, the agenda from morning to evening,
So tell us,
is President Ruto.
Senator,
But ODM is addressing the real issues affecting Kenya.
It's a fair question there, because right to peaceful assembly, compensation of all pending claims of rights victims is one of the 10-point agenda you refer to. What is the progress on that?
We are engaging them to the UDA government to ensure that there is a clear, actionable process of addressing the issue of compensation. We are engaging them on the issue of cost of living.
Who are you speaking to, strictly?
UDA, they have a structure just like ODM.
Yes. So
we are engaging the party UDA.
Who?
They have the National Executive Committee.
Who? Who is the receiving officer?
No, the organ. We are engaging organ to organ of the party.
Organ to organ, but
yes.
there has to be a receiving person. There has to be someone who takes...
They have a Secretary General.
So you're speaking
They have a Secretary General, Mr. Omar. They have the Chairman, Madam Barire.
Hassan Omar.
Yes, party to party.
To compensate.
Who wrote the letter?
You see, we have an agreement, Sam.
Who wrote the letter to Hassan Omar?
We have an agreement.
Yes.
The agreement is very specific on those issues. So we are engaging on those issues to see how they will be addressed.
It's been a couple of months since it was signed. Who have you engaged since then? You're the deputy party leader of ODM.
I have told you we are not engaging an individual. We are engaging the structures of the party. And the structure of...
How? Do you speak to them at press conferences? Do you write letters?
No. You know, some of this meeting, we are not like DCP who engages in press conference.
But for you to...
We are engaging practically in meetings.
There has to be a real process. Does it exist or not?
It exists. It exists.
Through who?
Sam, you know, there are some things that cannot be said in the media here.
Like,
there are things which
the rights of victims of Gen Z protests cannot be said in the media?
No, I'm saying there are some processes which I cannot come and say.
How does that compensation look like?
Compensation is the families which lost their loved ones.
Yeah.
They should be compensated. So the discussion will be what form of compensation
would be or
and
is.
How much. Should be.
What have you proposed?
The discussion.
Tell us what you've proposed as a...
No. I mean, it's unfair. It's unfair to ask me to say details about something that is ongoing.
That question, Senator.
The most, Sam, you know, the most important thing.
Senator Sotsi, the reason I'm asking that question, I've been looking at the budget books.
Yes.
There's no indication of any resources allocated there for compensation of Gen Zs. This budget is being considered by the House that he sits at. It will be passed very soon in the month of June.
And who chairs the Committee on Budget? A member of ODM. So who is in charge of Treasury? A member of ODM.
If it's not factored in the budget, what happens?
Who prepared the budget?
Our role as a party was on behalf of Kenyans, was to engage UDA to agree to resolving those issues. Now, the burden to resolve those issues, it is between the two parties. And ODM is doing its part. I don't want to go into details about what we are doing. We are doing our part. And if that happens, we would have practically dealt with the 10 issues. Now, that is different from a party that only talks in markets, that only talks about an individual. But this is a party that has practically come out to try and address this problem.
Okay, all right. Honorable Koech, do you have any information of any conversations about Gen Z compensation?
There is an agreement. We're doing a conversation.
Sorry, this is a question for Koech.
For UDA, not Koech.
Allow me to be very honest. I do not know, because there was a team that actually made an agreement on the 10-point agreement that was formed from either sides to come up with that 10 agreement point.
Yeah.
However, I do not know how it's supposed to be implemented. Some of the issues that have been raised have been brought to Parliament. I do not know if it is factored in this financial year. I've been dealing with my sector for the last 1 week. And when I overall look at the budget, then I'll be able to know. But I will not, comprehensively say that. Yeah, I don't know at this point. I don't even know how it was meant to be addressed. But I know the issues that were raised at that point, like you are indicating. But allow me to mention that I feel very bad. You very quickly moved from the issue of the IEBC commissioners, the nominees, and the statement that was made by the former deputy president.
Right.
I find it, that the former deputy president only views individuals and qualification from one lens, that of the tribe, and must be from Wamunyoro. He does not look at the nominee chair as a very educated individual with 23 years as an advocate of the High Court and with 3 master's degrees. He just sees him as a Turkana. And feels like, the Turkana community do not deserve anything.
I don't
He
think
did not. He didn't say that.
He said he has worked with the former governor.
Which is
No. Let me tell you, to cast aspersions on an individual and to say, oh, so-and-so is a friend to so-and-so, I think, in my view, is totally wrong.
No. I'm just saying, I have no problem.
We have had an
I have no problem with you raising issues. It's just not accurate to say that he raised an issue for him being from the Turkana community. I don't think that's what he said.
That is a lens he uses for anything.
That's not what he said.
Yeah, he doesn't have to say.
You may know him better than we do, but that's not what he said.
Yeah.
Can you deal with what he said?
You know why? Part of the reasons why we impeached the former deputy president.
Yep.
Do you still remember? Was because of the lens of viewing the nation. He has only one lens. It has to be from Wamunyoro or nothing. So I know, because we have participated in a process of removing him from office. I feel very bad. Because honestly, Sam, I feel very bad that people want to bastardize the new commissioners before they even get to parliament. I want them to be allowed, and some elections are not won because you are a friend to a commissioner or so-and-so. Elections are won because of a manifesto that you give to the people of this nation. I have tried to listen, like Honorable Sose did say. Malala's party, I do not know what they stand for. I honestly do not know. Other than every time they take on the mic, it is William Ruto, Kasongo. There is nothing else they speak about. They don't tell you what they want to change in this country.
Bottom up.
There is nothing that they alternatively offer from the government of the day. So this is a party that is saying that we are going to rig them out. Rig them out from where? They don't have votes. This is a colorless party. This is a party that we will not compete with. It cannot compete with UDA. In fact, it will struggle to come forth. I can tell you that for real. The people of this country are not foolish. You cannot have a failed Mythical Inturi telling us today that he has gone to form another party because he wants to come back. Honestly, Mythical Inturi or Fertilizer, and you are telling me that you want to come back and again convince me to vote for you? Malala, who we ejected from UDA, is telling you that today I have another solution that he could not offer when he was sitting in the cabinet in UDA. Honestly, you want to tell me Wamunyoro, who was in government, who was a second in command, and had nothing to offer. What can you remember of Rigathi Gachagua, for instance? Just tell me anything, one single policy that reminds you of Rigathi Gachagua. Zero. So these are individuals. This is a pool of failed individuals who have decided to come together to preach to the nation and tell you another story that you know very clearly is a con story. There is absolutely nothing. So there's no rigging to be done. We have no competitor in 2027. I've told you repeatedly, we will be competing against our manifesto. We will be competing against, did we deliver the fertilizer to the people of this country? We will be competing against the education system. Are we restructuring? We will be competing about our manifesto in SHA. Are we able to implement and make sure that people truly get universal health care? We are going to compete to see that we've stabilized food inflation in this country. That is our interest at the moment. We have no competitor. And let me tell you.
Oh, even Raila, you're not trying.
That is broadcast. That is.
I want to stay with you.
Yeah.
Just hold on, Honorable Malala.
Yes.
Please allow us to hear what your party leader said in regards to the options for 2027.
I am of the opinion that I'm the best, and I should be given the flag bearer of our team to run as president. If that doesn't happen, if somebody else is picked, not me, I've given my commitment that I'll support that person. We have been brought together by circumstances. Kenyans are demanding that we stick together, that we like each other, we love each other, we unite so that we can liberate this country. In my community, there is a saying that buffaloes don't move together in a herd necessarily because they like each other. No, is the danger of walking alone. You know, the danger we face as a country makes it mandatory for us to like each other, love each other, and work together so that we can liberate this country. And we don't have a choice, you know.
Now, there are many issues that emanate from that. Before I get to you, DCP, Deputy Party Leader, DCP, DPL, Honorable Coach, you said that Rigathi Gachagua cannot participate in formation of a party. And I'm looking at the law, Section 13 of the Political Parties Act. A person disqualified from holding public office under the Constitution, this act or any other written law shall not hold office in the governing body of a political party or be its founding member. And I'm looking that against the political rights of a Kenyan, which would indicate that every person, let me just get to that, every citizen is free to make political choices which include the right to form or participate in forming a political party, to participate in the activities of or recruit members for a political party, or to campaign for a political party or cause. And I look at the entire Article 38 of that Constitution, there's no limitation as to who cannot. Do you then believe what the Political Parties Act provides is constitutional?
I've told you, Rigathi Gachagua stands impeached at this point, so he cannot run for office, okay? You again went further to Section 13. Then you don't read it in separation. You read it holistically. In fact, I'll actually pose another one, Article 91(1) of the Constitution, that every political party shall have a national character, promote and uphold national unity. Rigathi Gachagua was impeached because he was promoting tribal politics. There is nowhere, I can tell you, and you can even hear from his sentiments that, you know, it's not about him. And he's even unconditionally saying, if we have to partner with others, that is the uncomfort that he has. I can tell you, Sam, that I don't see Honorable Rigathi Gachagua running. What Rigathi Gachagua is doing, even now, he is trying to have a block of votes so that he can auction it to an individual. He is not running. He needs votes to auction. He wants to get members of parliament and use it to bargain for space. That is exactly what he's doing. And he will not allow anyone. You saw Senator Muranga this week come out very strongly and said, we will not allow any other person to lead if it is not going to be you. It means they won't work with Kalonzo, and they will not work with Matiang'i, and they will not work with Karua. Because I know the traits of former deputy president. Malala will tell you here, but you know, later when you ask.
No. You said the political party will not go anywhere because it's a
yes,
constitutional.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to auction the
no, you said he cannot found a political party.
He cannot.
And I'm reading that against Article 38 of the Constitution. Do you think then that Section 13 is tenable?
You know, political parties act on the Constitution. You have to read them together for you to come up with a conclusion. All I've said is that impeachment is the highest is the highest crime, you know, and punishment that you can give to an individual in a political office. So at that point, to this point, he is not running. So I'm just giving him the latitude that he could go to court and overturn the impeachment process. But as it is now, even I want to get Malala another party because honestly,
he's the deputy party leader.
But of what party? You know, what party?
DCP.
No. This is a brilliant person. But look at the party leader that he has. Honestly, is this a party leader that you want to second?
So I'll get to you, Senator Malala. So is Rigathi Gachagua's intention to be president?
First of all, I want to respond to my brother here. DCP is a registered party, registered by the registrar of political parties. A very competent person, in the name of the registrar, who, in their wisdom, they have nominated her as one of the commissioners.
What do you mean, who?
The government.
Who is them?
UDA government has nominated.
Sorry, there was a process. How did?
And that's why I'm saying no. You know, Sam, take it as I've said it.
No,
the president...
I find it difficult because, Senator Malala, there was a process of selection.
Yes.
People applied.
Yes.
They were shortlisted, appeared for interviews. Then a shorter list of 9 members for commission was sent to the president.
Yes.
The president has nominated 6 names for commissioner.
And out of the 9, the president narrowed down to 6.
Yes.
So the president saw it wise to nominate the person who registered DCP.
So you cannot attribute it to the UDA?
No, but he's the president. He's the party leader of the UDA. And they are the ruling party.
The law requires him to do so.
Yes, that's why I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying in their wisdom.
The name you're giving it.
No, I'm saying in their wisdom, they decided to nominate the person who registered DCP. DCP is a party that has followed all the provisions of the Political Parties Act. Second, I don't know why you are talking about DCP, yet we've only unveiled the name. We are launching our party on 4th of June. That is when now you will know the vision of the party.
What is the difference between unveiling and...
No, we were just telling Kenyans that, come on now, we have a party called DCP. And therefore, but the rest of the details...
It's an official launch.
Official launch is now when we will be telling Kenyans what is our agenda. But our clarion call, as you've seen, just a moment, our clarion call is to listen to the ground. And if our agenda is Ruto must go, then we are saying that we are not just advocating for Ruto to go. We are advocating for Ruto to go for us to change the things that have not been executed well in this country.
And Rigathi will do that?
Just a moment, Mheshimiwa. And therefore, our clarion call is to listen to the ground. And if the ground, everywhere you go to any kiosk, go to any public gathering, you will hear people saying Ruto must go. And therefore, it is not our wish, it's the wish of Kenyans. I've heard Mheshimiwa here saying that they'll be competing against themselves. It's true, they are competing against themselves. They had an agenda, they had a manifesto, which they are not implementing. This is the 3rd year.
You were part of that agenda.
Yeah, and that's why I left.
Which part have we not implemented, man? And I want to respond to you.
Just a moment. And that's why I left. UDA party.
Malala, we kicked you.
UDA party has not implemented the promises. We've seen the president making public declarations. Oh, hii barabara chini ya wiki tatu nitaunda. You know, it's a lying system. And when I hear my brother here saying that my party leader is not qualified to run for office, that we have rejects in our team, we have people who were involved in fertilizer scandal. If the person who was involved in Kimarer and Aror Dam is now heading your faction, if the person who was at the middle of the maize scandal is now the head of your faction, what are you telling us about?
What are you talking about?
He knows the head of his faction.
I don't know what you're referring to.
You know. Now, what we are saying is...
Is it possible to say what you're saying in specific terms?
What I'm saying is, his party has got a list of people, in fact, a gang of people, who loot from this country. And he can categorically lie to the nation, look straight into the cameras, and say that our party is a group of rejected people. You saw, out of the 28...
So give me a specific answer. Is it the intention of Rigathi Gachagua to be president of Kenya?
Of course, yes.
How so?
You know, we have the Constitution, and you cannot read the Constitution in isolation. The same Constitution is referring to gives Rigathi Gachagua a right to ensure that he has explored all appellate stages. Rigathi Gachagua, as you know, yes, he was impeached, but he obtained an order to stay.
Say what?
Stay the impeachment proceedings until his matter is heard and determined.
Which one was that?
Just a moment.
Malala. Oh, yeah.
No, wait.
I don't remember it.
We got an order, the Kirinyaga order, to say that we are staying the proceedings because we are in court. We have a right to be adjudicated fairly, and that's the role of the judiciary. You know, you cannot just take me, you say that you are a thief, and then it ends at you saying, I am a thief. I have the right to go to court and seek justice. You cannot be the implementer and also the person offering justice. And that is why I'm saying, he has the right to go to court, get judgment. If today High Court ruled that Rigathi Gachagua was not procedurally impeached, he will run for president.
But that has not been, the impeachment has not been overturned. So as it is...
Sorry, Senator Malala, I'll get back to you, but Honorable Osotsi, do you think he should run, but also what does this do to the political hygiene of our country?
Well, maybe before I respond to that, allow me to say something about IEBC, which I thought it was a very important topic than what we are discussing about. All
of you ran away from that question.
Rigiji.
I don't understand why.
The having IEBC in place, I think is the most important thing for every leader who is talking about 2027. And when you talk about relationships, everyone has a relation. Everyone has a past relation. Even Chebukati, when he was appointed, when he was made the IEBC chair, he was an ODM member. Remember, he vied for a parliamentary seat on ODM ticket in 2007. So when we have people who appear to be having a past relationship with some people, that should not be a major issue. I think the major issue is that these people, are they qualified? Do they have the right capability to be commissioners of IEBC? I think that's what is important. Because I'm seeing a situation where people will go to court, try to say that these guys were not properly appointed, and that may affect the entire election process in 2027. Remember, the issue of delimitation of boundaries, it is now expired. It's expired in March 2025, this year.
24, last year.
Yeah. So we have a crisis. And now, if we do not have IEBC by end of this year, we are going to be in a big constitutional crisis. And it will affect all of us. Malala here, he's talking about 2027, that Ruto is one term. They may not have that opportunity. So it is in the interest of every leader in this country to have an IEBC in place. And the issue of relations is not a major thing. The gentleman who has been proposed to be the chair of IEBC, I know him. He has appeared before my committee in the Senate as a county attorney of Turkana. He was a county attorney during Nanok's time, and even presently, he was also the county attorney of Turkana. And he's such a very knowledgeable individual. So let's give him a chance to see what happens. Okay. And number two, you remember, we have been proposing that why can't we have an IEBC where political parties are allowed to nominate? So that DCP brings someone, ODM, UDA brings someone. When we talk about that, it's already an issue of relationship. So let us have a commission in place.
If you were to do that, then it would mean there are political parties that will not be represented, including DCP is just 5 days old.
I'm just giving an example.
Been part of the process.
I'm just giving an example on the issue of relations. That if that had to be implemented, then the relationship issue will still come in. What we need is for us to focus on having the right laws in place to ensure that the process is free and fair. But focusing on individuals, I think we are losing the point, and we'll continue having a situation where...
The political party has done that very clearly.
Yes.
Against Isaka San, against Wafula Chebukati Commission. They've done it very well.
Yeah, but
this is what I was referring to.
Listen, I'm the one talking. No, you had an opportunity and I was listening.
No, I'm just reacting.
Learn to listen.
It's a point of information.
Yeah? Learn to listen. You are now a deputy party leader of a briefcase party. So you need to listen. Listen to big parties when they are talking. And learn these things. So what we are saying is that let us focus on the laws. Remember, one of the issues that we are raising is preparedness. The right technology, the right laws, the right framework in place. That is what is important to me. But individuals, will always have individuals who have relations in the past, and that is not a major issue. The major issue is that without an IBC,
yes,
we have a problem in 2027.
I think the reality
we'll get into a constitutional crisis.
The reality is that the political class has always thrown stones at the IBC. Today it's DCP, yesterday it was ODM.
It has always been ODM.
I want us to listen to what some leaders in Kenya Kwanza government said about the new party, DCP, as we draw to a close.
We want to have one indivisible nation called Kenya, where the tribe, the religion, and the county you come from doesn't matter, and that is what our constitution is saying, and that is what William Ruto is implementing.
Ni makatili tupu. Moja anayeongoza chama ni ule mwizi wa buzi ya Uhuru Kenyatta. Ati huyo ndio chairman wa chama. Mwingine ni ule alikoroga mafia ya kuku na akauzia wakulima ati ni mbolea. Alikuwa amekaa hapo mbele na mandevu. Mwingine ni yule amefutwa kazi juzi. Na rafiki yangu pia Malala. Unajua Malala mimi ni rafiki yangu. Ngawaja watu wanasema ni mtu mbaya. Si mbaya lakini si mzuri. Ni rafiki pia. Ni wale aina ya marafiki ukipatia koti aende naye harusi. Akikurudishia kama yuko na kifunguo huko na bahati.
We don't need that many political parties. We need a few strong political parties. And we need a stronger devolution. Devolution is not an option. It is a constitutional imperative. It's a must.
So, Honorable Koech, you're saying this political party is nothing, won't go anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Why are they paying attention?
It's not attention. It's the statements that they continue to issue. Some of them very inflammatory statements that can incite violence. That I think everyone is against it. I mean, I don't mind Malala being a deputy party of any political, a deputy party leader of any political party.
Yeah.
But I have reservations on the person of the deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, because it doesn't mean well for this country. It's not good for the nation. You know, it's very toxic. You watch him and you know he should be moved from the mic, because every time he has this font for appearing and speaking on microphones, and sometimes it's very dangerous. In terms of DCP, if I was this generic and all these generic parties, if I was registered political parties, they'll not see the light of the day. Why do we need them? Why do we need a party like DCP for what? It's a regional, it's a party, it's a village party. And the party leader proudly displays, you know, that it belongs to Amunyoro. In fact, he's made a very huge poster that, you know, I love Amunyoro. This is to show you where the party belongs. In fact, Malala today, if they were to do a party, what is it called? Party PG. It is done in Amunyoro. Imagine he had to drive all the way to Nyeri. Malala. I mean, what kind of a party is that? A party that only speaks about a small village and sees everything in the context of that village. That's a horrible party. I wouldn't want to be part of that party, but it is what it is. Good enough is that party will not be fielding Rigathi Gachagua as a presidential candidate. And number two, as I conclude, because I know you won't give me another chance, is to confirm and reiterate again. You asked me if Rigathi Gachagua will be arrested. I want to tell you again, because I know I'll be here next week on Monday, just to confirm. Rigathi Gachagua will be arrested anytime now. Because those statements that he made should not be taken very casually. Statements that are made by leaders, they should be accountable.
How do you know that?
Action must be taken because of the statements that he made. It is a statement that is already causing a lot of anxiety.
Who was given the order to arrest?
William Ruto.
Every person when you commit crime, you know that you know the police will come for you.
Who has given the order to arrest?
The deputy president himself has said there is no difference between someone who is inciting violence in this country and that bandit in North Rift or the terrorist.
Yeah, we heard what he said. We
also
heard what the Interior Cabinet Secretary said.
Yes.
So who has given instructions to arrest Rigathi Gachagua?
Why will there be instructions for you when you've committed a crime?
Because you already know. Who are you quoting?
No, I'm just saying I can see the crime he has committed. It's a serious crime. You don't expect that the Minister of Interior and the Deputy President of this country will speak on a statement in vain. No. Wait and see.
So they know.
I am saying Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, the CS Interior, cannot be issuing a statement.
So they also know he will be arrested.
Who? Me? I have said it.
The Deputy President and the Cabinet Secretary for Interior knows.
That is why he didn't sleep. He didn't sleep in his house. He didn't sleep in Omunyoro. He didn't sleep in.
The two know he will be arrested.
In his house in Karen. He's been dodging, using Probox. I don't know, driving where. He's just, yeah.
DP Kindiki, CS Murkomen, they know Rigathi Gachagua will be arrested.
They shouldn't know. The security apparatus in this country must act because they're independent. The police is independent.
But you know he will be arrested.
He will be arrested.
So how independent is the police service?
No one is directing them. I have said, when you've done a mistake, the police must take action. And we expect action to be taken.
Do you want police to take action, or you know the police will take action?
Police have to take action. If I commit crime today, if I fought in this station, and it is a mistake, and someone reports me, I'll be arrested.
Please don't fight. Let's close in 10 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds is practical. 30 seconds.
Surely.
Senator Sotsi.
Okay, I think the so-called unveiling that was done by Rigathi Gachagua and Malala of DCP was anticlimax. Remember, they had promised Kenyans that they were going to launch the new party in December last year. That never happened. Then I think they moved it to March, and then eventually they did. And Kenyans expected a lot. They have expected freshness. But if you look at the party critically, then you realize that it's just another briefcase party in town. Because you look at the leadership structure of that party, you can only see three names. You can only see Rigathi Gachagua, Malala, and Linturi, and maybe Waruguru. The others are largely unknown people.
That's the meaning of
including the Secretary General of the party. So this is a party disguised. It's a party that is disguised as a national party, but indeed is a party that is just focused on Mount Kenya.
Are they Kenyans?
But that's only important. We as a party ODM, we are a party that handles issues of Kenyans seriously. We are now pushing for important issues that are affecting Kenyans, and that's why we got into an MOU, a 10-point agenda with the UDA government to try and push for the interest of Kenyans, the 10 issues. Now, we are not a party that talks on the streets the way Malala and his new boss are doing. We are a party that practically addresses the issues affecting Kenyans.
Thank you. Honorable Malala.
Sam, just to sum up, next time you invite me on this show, I saw your poster, you said Deputy Party Leader DCP and Deputy Party Leader ODM. You would have said Deputy Party Leader DCP and one of the 7 Deputy Party Leaders of ODM, because we must be serious about about addressing issues here.
Because sorry, Honorable Malala, should I also say interim Deputy Party Leader?
No problem, no problem.
No, you should have said. You should have said Deputy Party Leader ODM. One of the briefcase party Deputy Party Leader.
But DCP.
Okay, cool.
DCP is a national party.
Yeah.
And I am surprised by Osothi's double speak, whereby he says we only have 4 names which are known, the rest are people who are not known. That is the essence of freshness. We have seen out of the 28 out of the 28 officials of our party, we have representation across the country. We have representation from Kuria, we have representation from Western, we have representation from Coast, Northeastern, and even Central. And I wonder why you have become ambassadors of DCP. You are talking about DCP more than the members themselves. So I want to sum up by saying, Rigathi Gachagua, whether he is arrested or not arrested, he remains to be our leader. But I want to say here categorically, if you're going to arrest Rigathi Gachagua because he said he reminded Kenyans about the post-election violence, then you'll arrest everybody, including me, because I want to say now here that if you rig elections, I'm saying as clever as Malala, if you rig elections, Koech and Osotsi, if you rig elections...
Against which party? DCP?
Just a moment. If you rig elections, 2007 post-election violence will look like a Christmas tree. a Christmas party. And therefore,
Okay.
and I want to say, if that, no, it's a fair statement. No, Koech, reminding us about the history, of Kenya cannot amount to a criminal offense.
I have to say here that those are your sentiments.
Exactly, and I want to repeat it. So, and even ask Kenyans to retreat if that is the offense. If that is the offense of Rigathi Gachagua. No.
Sam, this party has no agenda.
No, what?
They want to be arrested so that
You will arrest everybody. You will arrest everybody. Because we are.
Your mics are off. Nobody can hear what you're saying. Up next is Sporty Monday. See you again some other time. Bye for now.